Alright, g'day and welcome. Today I am going to be trying to poke holes in these challenge maps. The challenge maps obviously will be from the new chapter, or episode 8, which was released while I was away. Rude. Outside of that, I know that a lot of people have been asking about these little hidden chapters, hidden ends, secret ends. I won't intentionally be going after them. If I do somehow manage to get them in the process, then that's all good and fine, but I won't intentionally be going out for them because quite a few of them are a little bit anal, to say the least, and frankly I don't really believe I have the right operators to do some of them. I'm not going to say all of them, but yeah, definitely some of them I don't have the operators for. That said, if I can get them I will, but yeah, no promises. I might have to do a completely separate stream on that. If maybe I can get the operators up, I'm not too sure. That said, as usual, I'll be trying to do it with as few or no 6-star operators. I'll try and use common operators, but no promises because some of these maps tend to get a wee bit hairy. That aside, let's get into it. So the first one will be this one. I've had a couple of cracks at this a bit earlier because I thought I could just cheese it and be silly, but I can't. Ursus Raiders have significantly increased attack and defense, so Ursus Raiders, these fellows. So other than these fellows, everything else is normal. A couple of these come through the main lanes. I think 4, maybe 8 of them come through here, but the big problem with these ones is they come through these little side. 2 of them, I think, only 2 anyway, come through here and come across, and that's really actually very difficult to try and contain. So I'll be doing my best to try and show you how you can contain them and get them down, but I can't make massive promises about how easy it will be. Okay, so enough farting around, let's have a go. I'll go back to this squad so I can work around, because I have that squad saved for something else. Alrighty. So first and foremost, we're going to need some fairly high damage vanguards. So we'll go with Scavenger for this attack boost. As most of you know, I always go with Zimmer because Zimmer decreases deployment cost to Vanguard, so that's always a benefit. And I'm also going to grab Vigna with the second skill. Now that aside, we're going to grab Blue Poison. I'll probably stick with this second skill. I'm going to take a healer. I'll take Silence just because of the drone. You can take probably anyone. I don't really think you need too much. I'll take Gavial. Take Gavial and just bring a backup healer. I'll bring Lancet as a backup. Actually, I might not bring Gavial. I might bring Myr instead. I'll bring Myr with second skill. Now, need a couple or a few casters. Casters are what's going to play in pretty heavily into this one, so we're going to need Haze, Armia. You should be somewhere here. I use Armia's second skill just out of habit. You can use whichever one you want, doesn't really matter. And I'll bring Gitano with first skill. I'm also going to bring Ethan just as a little bit of reserve for myself. And now I just need some tanky tanks. Oops. So for this particular one, I'm going to bring Derna, and just as a backup tank, I'm going to bring Gummy. Now I may need to swap this group out, because this is the first time I've actually done this with such a low star group. So I'm not 100% sure this is going to work out exactly how I think it's going to work out, but it's the point of this stream. It's just working through it, see how it works, and hopefully it works the way we think it's going to work. I may actually, just so I don't have to use this, I'm actually going to bring Cardigan. So we'll start this up and we'll see how we go. It should be fine, I think, but I'm not going to hold my breath because I've been wrong about this before when I tried to cheese it and made a little bit of a mistake. So we're going to put our vanguards in facing down. All three. Gonna put in blue poison there, facing across, so she can help with the bottom lane. And as soon as we can, we're gonna pop Katana in right here. Vigna's skill so she doesn't get overwhelmed, and Blue's skill as soon as you can as well. And we're also going to pop Armia in right here to again help with the bottom row. Now, Haze is going to be facing this way because this is where we're going to be blocking the enemies that come through this entry point. And I think this is going to do what I thought it was going to do. I was hoping it wouldn't, but I think it has. Yeah, that's what I thought. So those vanguards are not going to have to stay. I'm going to have to remove those vanguards. I was sort of expecting the healer there to do a bit more, but obviously the reboot could not keep up. So I am actually going to have to put in a proper healer. Lancet might have to take a back seat. And I'm also probably going to have to put in a little bit more of a more reliable AoE Arts dealer. So for that basically just means we're going to have to swap over to Skyfire with her stun. So once again, just the Vanguards targeting downwards. And that's because Tallulah isn't strong enough to kill those on her own 9 times out of 10. As you can see, they're just powering straight past her, they don't really care. Pop Army are in nice and early this time. And so this time I'm just going to wait out until Skyfire's ready. And I'm going to pop Skyfire in there. So Scavenger's just about down. No. Pop Gummy in there. Pop Mur in to help with healing. And just use Skyfire's skill whenever it's ready. I was actually hoping, I keep forgetting, and that's poor wisdom on my part, that those guys actually need someone with 2 block, so yeah, that's my own idiocy. And is also an easy fix. That is an easy fix, and we'll just swap Vigna over with Courier. And I think we'll use Courier with second skill. And I think I'm also going to swap around a couple of those Vanguard placements. Simply because of how I believe things are going to line up for me. So I'm going to pop Zimmer down there, which is where I had Scavenger originally. Then I'm going to pop Scavenger in the middle. And 9. Courier down there. Courier skill. And now that should work a lot better. This time I'm just going to pop Ethan in. Just basically entirely for Ethan's stun. As you can see, Ethan's doing relatively fine, just keeping them locked up and away. Courier's skill when these all come through. And we're going to have to pull Scavenger back and pop Gummy in. And Gummy helps with healing. That's the end goal, is Gummy helps with healing. So here's the first fellow over the top here. So I'm going to pull Mur away and I'm going to pop Cardigan in. Pop down my drone. And I'm hoping the Cardigan does what I think she's going to do. Which she hasn't. Which is not horrible, because it actually opens up a completely new concept of how I can do this. So I'm going to stick with Armia and Haze. I'm probably not going to use Armia's second skill, I'm going to use her first skill. I'm going to leave Blue in there. Actually, I might not leave Blue in there, I might swap Blue for somebody who has a double shot. I'll swap her out for Greythroat with the first talent, first skill. I'll leave all my Vanguards in there. Yes. So now the way I'm going to approach this separately this time is I'm actually going to try and get as many of them down when they're up at the top waiting. I was letting them come down to where the defense line was, and that was probably not the wisest thing I've done. So I'll deploy these the exact same way I did before. And then I'm going to put Armia. And I'm also going to put Haze at the top here. And as soon as I can, Greythroat here. And I'm just waiting for Skyfire. Skyfire in. Ethan in. Haze's skill. Armia's skill. And now the hope is that most of this will go down before it can do any real damage. Which it has. Pop my drone down here. Ah, I lost someone. So this time I'm actually going to pop Gummy down there. And I'm just going to keep an eye on this lane. I'm going to see if I can avoid popping someone back down in this lane. I don't know if it'll work that way. It doesn't look like it's going to, so pop someone down there to try and catch people. So far, everything's looking okay, not great. And I think I may have been overrun. Yeah, because nobody's going to get him down, I don't think. Yeah.
周囲を警戒しておいて。撤退ルートの安全確保は私に任せて。
So the big problem that I'm seeing, and I kind of suspected I was going to have big issues with this map, is primarily that there's a lot of targets running around and a lot of targets that you can't get down at once. And that's the big problem, is you've got a whole bunch of units coming and there's not a lot of ways to... Not a lot of good ways, I should say, to AoE them all down. Because they're all quite tanky. Hideously tanky, I would even go as far as to say. So I might try and swap out Grey Throat. I just want to check Firewatch, exactly what Firewatch does. Lowest defense. So I'll try Firewatch with that second skill. I'm also going to swap in... I'm probably also going to swap in some extra tanks. I'm not sure if extra tanks is going to help the situation, but it certainly can't hurt. Who am I after? Nerl, where's Nerl?
Lodosの名に恥じぬ戦いは。
And I am also going to try my luck with Durnar.
いつでも行けるわよ。次の現場はどこ?
Yeah, of course you can ask here. Just which operators? I'm assuming you got the 6-star permit out of the box, is that correct? Or are you talking about the 6-star permit for the current 3 that are in... Is it current 3? No, 2. Choose between 3 operators. Yeah, sure. Just let me know which 3 operators you're considering, and I'll give you my thoughts. Of those 3, all three are good choices, but Blaze will probably give you the most leg. Blaze is without a doubt an extremely versatile operator, and yeah, without a doubt she's probably the best of the three. Saria is very limited as far as tanks go. She has not a great amount of uses. Bagpipe is fantastic as well, but yeah, without a doubt Blaze is the best of those three. Blaze can stand in as a tank with a second skill. She survives well, she does a good amount of damage. Yeah, see, if you've got... Hill tanks have a very singular purpose. Saria is good at what she does, like most operators. I say that about a lot of operators. But Bagpipe is good again if you need her to sit and stay in one area and she's not going to get overwhelmed. But Blaze is just one of those operators that you can deploy with minimum assistance and she'll stay there. There are situations where she'll get overwhelmed. This map, for one example, where everything has high defense and you need to use arts, that's one of the situations where Blaze will come undone. But outside of those, like if it's just regular holding, then yeah, and you don't want to use a tank, Blaze is the best option. So yeah, if those are your three choices, Blaze is the one I would go with, without a doubt. Okay, so we will pop down our vanguards, and I'm going to try and get defenders in nice and early this time. Without three vanguards, I stuffed up. Alright, well, that goes. Yeah, Siege and Bagpipe are kind of the same. If you kit them up well enough, they can sit there and do their own thing, but yeah, of those three, I would definitely pick Blaze, without a doubt. So at the moment I'm really just tossing about to see what can get that first fellow down. As you can see, it's not ideal. This is one of those maps where I really need a different vanguard than I have available. Ideally I would want to be using Elysium, who I don't have up at level yet, so yeah. It's just one of those situations where I'm really not in a good position. Let's bring Red. See if I can get away with this. Red first skill. Yeah, Blaze will last you a long time. No matter what happens, you'll probably always have a use for Blaze. So Texas's second skill works out quite well. This time I'm going to pop down. Yeah, that looks good. Armia in. Cardigan in. And I'm probably just going to be using Texas's skill just to help out with these guys. Drop some bombs in. So I'll pull out Courier and I'll pop in Nerl and see how that goes. Let's throw some Skyfire in here to get some AoE damage. Pop in Red. Now I'm hoping that this is going to do what I think it's going to do. I'm a bit, more than a bit worried actually, but we'll see. Because I'm not too sure if Texas can hold on, we'll see. The others I'm not worried about. So yep, that's beautiful. Texas has done what I needed it to. And I'm going to pop in Dernar nice and early. Here comes this guy. I probably should have popped her in a bit earlier, but work around it. Drop some bombs. Skyfire skill. I'm just going to keep an eye on Dernar because I don't know how well it's going to work. Because Dernar doesn't have a means to heal herself there. And she is an on-hit recovery. So she is falling a bit behind. And I think this is where I'm probably going to come undone. Does look like it, because I just don't have the operators on the field to do this. Yeah, and I've let one sneak through on me. So, without a means to kill this straight away, which I don't have, because yeah, Red doesn't have the damage. So this right here is probably a map where I would use Blaze if I was going to use a 6-star. And I've also made a critical error in judgment with Dernar because I thought her skill was on hit, but it's not, it's per hit. And so I'm going to do some quick swapping around. Going to remove Red, and I'm going to bring one of my new favorites, Utage. I'm probably also going to hold off on Skyfire's skill a little bit later in the fight, when that big group comes at the end. Because that big group at the end looks like it comes very close to overwhelming me no matter what I do. So that's what I'm going to do. So once again, Texas in the middle. Get her down first so her skill starts. Courier here. Chop him down. Cardigan there. Siege needs a lot of resources to be particularly good. Her second skill needs to be taken to Mastery 3. And she obviously needs to be Elite 2. The trade-off to this is she has a lower overall damage, but she blocks 2. That's primarily where the trade-off is. In a situation where things can be controlled to Bagpipe's significantly better than Siege. Unfortunately, the situations don't always allow that nice steady flow to Bagpipe. So then Bagpipe starts hinging on her third skill. And again, if you can't control what is flowing through to her, she'll get overwhelmed and then she'll fall out. Siege is one of those operators that you just deploy and have to leave in for a long period of time to get your money's worth out of her. Whereas Bagpipe gets her deployment points back when you yank her back, plus whatever she gets from killing people. It's not a particularly great comparison to make. Like, it's not really a comparison you should be making between the two of them because they're two different types of operators entirely. But that would be the big difference between the two. Siege is one that you set and forget, and Bagpipe's one that you kind of got to mentor and watch over. And I think that's where people get upset with Siege. I would believe that's where people get upset over Siege. Is that A, she doesn't really break in deployment points unless she's hitting things. Well, then again, I suppose neither does Bagpipe. It's a hard comparison to make, really. It's a lot of people like to make those comparisons between two operators or even one operator. Like, you see a lot of people slagging Savage, for example. I don't like that. No. Yeah, you see a lot of people slagging Savage. Sorry, I got distracted talking. But Savage is actually a really, really great operator, but you need to have her where she has to be for her to actually do what she's good at. It's the same thing with Siege. If you don't put her where she's going to excel, she's not going to excel. So, I don't like making comparisons between two completely different sorts of operator types, archetypes. I do understand the trash talk of Siege, because yes, her skills do need Mastery 3 to be good, and she is a very easy operator to slag on, but yeah, it's probably not a fair comparison. That is all I can really say on the subject matter. That's the exact same thing I did last time, isn't it? Oh dear. Yeah, that's... Look, the comparison likely comes from the fact that Bagpipe's skill 3 allows her to block 3 targets, I think. I think her skill 3 allows her to... for the duration. Blocks 3, but the problem with that is it's only for the skill duration. Which, as you're probably well aware, that's all good and fun while the skill's running, but outside of the skill's duration, well, good luck to whoever. Yes, especially that chapter, it's a pointless argument to make, really. And I actually made a critical error on this one too, because I didn't put... I didn't put the operator down that I needed to put down. I put Haze down instead of Skyfire. And actually, with as many things as there is, I'm actually not going to use Skyfire. I'm going to use Gitano because she'll just wipe that entire area out. Like, Siege will last you through all the way. I mean... Like, I have Siege here somewhere. There she is. And I mean, even swapping her skills around, like, I've used her as a DPSer. Like, that's the other thing. You can use her as a DPSer, which is something that you can't really do with Bagpipe. I mean, you can, but I find that Siege is far more effective at it. A lot of it comes down to personal preference too in this game. Like, a lot of people that I see drop into these streams that I do when I'm clearing, you know, a lot of people come in and they suggest using things, and sometimes if I change a few operators around, and that's all it takes, is just changing a few operators around, their suggestion becomes viable. And yeah, in many cases that's all it tends to take, is just a little bit of a swap, and then magically, you know, things can work. Another thing is that I suspect that people kind of rely on Bagpipe as that one tool fits all position. Like, a lot of people look at this game in that manner and they're like, oh yeah, if I use Silver Ash here, I don't need to do anything else, or yeah, like the brain dead option, for example. I don't really hold it against anyone or anything like that. It's just, just seems very silly to me that people want to take that sort of singular way out of everything, I guess, and just hope that it works for them forever. When, you know, in many cases it won't. Like, I think it was chapter 8 was just the rudest awakening for me.
了解した。
Well, Chapter 8 was the rudest awakening for me because I had to do so many things that just were unconventional for the way I play. And there have been other chapters that are like that as well, where it's just totally unconventional to approach the situation as you would in any normal sort of fashion. Is that true? I don't know. Yes, it did. Oh well. Gonna have to do this the dodgy way. Oh no, it's all I hit the wrong one. Tallulah, what have you done to me? Doctor. See, in this Chapter 8's what frustrates me, because they throw Tallulah on the map. And she's usually decent. I'm not going to say she's good. But the problem is that she so frequently just throws. Like, she's not reliable. What am I doing? I'm pulling Cardigan out, I'm popping Durnar back in, because I'm going to try a completely different thought process. Durnar second skill, pulling Mer out, and I'm popping back in a long range medic. One of these, Salen, Whisper Rain. There's one. Is there one more? I'm not sure. Anyway, that's what we're doing. And I'm also going to go back to Skyfire. Chop and change. It's just frustrating because you kind of look at something and you go, oh, it's dead. Tallulah will get him. And then she uses, like, she has two attacks. One's a damage over time and one's just a blunt force thing. And 9 times out of 10, she either hits the wrong target or she uses the dot and it doesn't kill it. So you're left there looking like an idiot. And yeah, it ends up doing more harm than good to you. And I've just made another critical error in judgment because I was using Cardigan. I swapped it out. That's alright. I'll make it work. We'll brute force it. So I'm going to put my long range healer here. I could just use a regular AoE healer, but I'm kind of relying on this one. That's rude. Pop down some bombs. Pop in Durnar. Now the reason I'm popping Durnar or any tank for that instance there is because of these two freezing towers. The idea is to just lock them in there, where they're just going to get constantly frozen, which is probably not great for Durnar. If I had Asbestos, I would probably use Asbestos, but I don't. So I'm just saving Texas's attack. We just lost someone. So I'm just going to pop down Meteorite. I'll start fire. See, and that the little guy's got a dot on him. And I'm just going to use Texas's skill right there. Now I'm going to wait for this skill to go through. Drop some bombs. Pull her back. And I don't have another tank, which I was hoping I would have. Yeah. Okay. Ah. Just trying to think who I could put there that would have the damage to get through those guys straight away. Good thing I have plenty of these little sanity potions. So Durnar is not working. That's full stop. None of my arts guards are particularly great at killing things. I don't even know who I have as an arts guard. Like a flat arts guard. I suppose I could use a Stacey. No, I can't. She's single block. I need 2 block. If I had Brocker up, I would probably use him. I could pull Suitor in, but that would defeat the purpose of what I'm trying to accomplish. I'll just stick Lapland in and hope for the best. And I'll swap out Ceylon for Telopsis.
新たなデータをパッケージにビルドしました。
That should be okay, I think. These maps become so much more difficult the second you remove the 6 stars. Put in a 6 star, it becomes so much easier.
みんなの面倒はちゃんと見てあげるわよ。敵を捕捉。直ちに行動に移る。命令を切りつけ。目標地点に到着。スピードアップ。
Who do I want? Who do I want? As this little dude just walks through. I thought I could sneak in someone else, but I can't. It was a bad move. Bad move, horrible move, crippling move. Cocked it up. I'm leaving that last lane open too long. Be a bit more careful with it this time. See if I can delay this. I'm not sure if I can, but because I think if I don't, Tallulah is gonna let me down. So from that, I'll pop in nil, so I can block that lane this time. Hopefully. Go, go, go. 25, 26. That was a bit squeezy. I don't like that. Bit too squeezy for my likes. So I'm just going to wait for this last ability from Courier, and then I'm going to swap in Gummy. So he's done that. Actually, I'll let this little dude go past. Gummy in. Use this ability. Pop in Skyfire. Not what I wanted at all. Hopefully your target can take that guy down. Oh, one more hit. I should have faced her around the other way. I wanted to get Lapland in there quicker than that. So try slightly reorganizing how I deploy once again. So this time I'm going to deploy Firewatch over this side. Gummy in that corner just so it's a bit cheaper. Deploy everyone in. Null in. Just wait for this fellow to get in range. This time I'll just drop Liskarm straight in. I won't even bother. Drop some bombs again. So by putting Firewatch, there, it's made life a little easier because she can just sit here plucking away at them as they come through rather than me actually having to worry about them being knocked out immediately. So I'll just wait for as many to come through as we can. Lapland's got that first one down, no dramas. And she'll no doubt get that second one down once her skill activates. It's just going to be a matter of her skill activating. So one more hit. There she goes. So she has to get it down before that one comes through. That's going to be the big fight. And here it comes now. And she's caught it. So that's good. Army is slowly working away those. So these are the last two. So from there we can get rid of Armia and we'll pop in Utage. And between Utage and Lapland that thing will go down pretty quickly. I suppose I could... Oh, no I couldn't. So a bit of messing around, it's a bit wonky, but as I said, I mean, I could have put Surta in there and Surta in where I had Lapland, for example, and Surta would have made absolute mess of those guys, but I'm trying to not use those 6 stars. So once again, we have Tallulah, I think, pretending to be important. And Patriot's Originum Altar, which produces gas, question mark, around here. So we'll want to be sort of blocking things around here, we're doing our best to slow things around there. So let's. What do we got? Ursus armored casters have significantly increased attack range. So increased attack range isn't a huge issue because we can just counter that with healers. It's not like we need to force extra damage. We'll trash this whole squad. And we'll start from scratch again. So we'll take Zimmer, because I like Zimmer. Vanguard. Scavenger, second skill. Let's have a look how many medics we can actually throw down before I say that's easy. So medic placement shouldn't be too bad. If this surrounds the 8 tiles, then I can just put an AoE medic here. Oh, I'm probably sure you guys can hear the birds at my window. So before I actually start this, I'll actually quickly buzz off and feed these birdos. Otherwise they're going to start singing louder and louder and louder until I am upsetting the neighbors. So I'll be back in a quick moment, so hydration break. It's raining in my spot. Little birds don't like to go poking around in the ground when it's raining. So as far as healers go, we are going to just bring a AoE medic. So Telopsis is my AoE medic of choice, and we're going to bring a regular medic. For this sake, I'll bring Silence, because I, again, enjoy using Silence. Gonna need a couple of tanks. So, let's bring Null. Actually, let's just try and bring as little as we can. So let's bring Gummy and where are you? There you are, Beagle. And for our healers, we'll bring the 2 starter healers. Actually, I'll bring Perfumer. Maybe, if I can click on her. We'll see how little we can bring. So we'll bring Perfumer and second skill. As for damage, grab some snipers. I'll bring Jessica. We will bring a caster. Caster is Armia. Everybody's got Armia.
わかりました。
Who else? Who else? Who else? Bring Shirayuki, why not?
承知した。
I'm gonna bring Utage because Utage does good things when I can find her. And I'll just check deployments again. So I'm actually probably gonna need a wide range healer, maybe. I'll have to see how we go. Pop Matoimaru in.
みんな強そうだな。まずはウォーミングアップでもしようぜ。
And maybe Frostleaf. I'll see how I go, because I can't really recall this map. Which means it either obviously didn't give me much trouble or there was nothing too special about it, but I'll see how I go. Aha. So we're just going to pack our Vanguards in there with an AoE healer. It's not where I wanted to put that AoE healer, but guess what? And I'm going to plop Jessica down right there so she can attack across that whole line, even though most of them I won't need to attack. And Jessica just got wasted anyway, so not great. Yes, yes, yes. Very interesting. Okay. So I'm not actually going to change too much of that, I don't think. I'm obviously going to change how I deploy things, but I'm not going to change how I went about it. So we're going to put the Vanguards in right up the front here, so they're away. Again, this is another map where if I had Elysium at a decent level, I would be using him. Sorry. What do I want to do? So I really want to get my healers down a lot quicker than I was. That's the one big thing I can see at the moment, is I want to get those healers down a hell of a lot quicker. That said, I am going to have to swap out one of my healers. I think I've got... who do I have? Alrighty. Okay, so I have got Mer. So that's not too bad. I'll swap her the skills, because I don't think I'm going to need that anymore. And I'm actually going to deploy Mer straight away instead of Perfumer. And the reason for that is when Mer's deployed, she instantly heals everything. So it's going to be a lot better for those Vanguards that are probably going to be getting smacked. Well, that's not ideal, is it? It's alright, they care more about Tallulah, it seems. So I'm not too sure how well this whole situation is going to pan out. That's how I'm going to deploy for now. And I'm just going to hope that this AoE sniper can actually get them down before anything critical is done. So I'm going to use this skill as soon as I can. This is a wonderful little car file. Alright, so Tallulah looks like she's nice and safe, which is a good start. I think that may actually be it. Matoimaru's skill just to pummel everything and anything that comes through there. Doesn't actually look like I'm going to need a tank as much as I needed these Vanguards to do their job right. Alright, so it's a good thing I did leave Shiranui there because, as you can see, something else has decided it wants to come and play. Alternatively, at this point in time, I'm going to start moving things up. Start blocking here so that this original altar actually helps as opposed to hindering. Even though, as you can see, it's not helping all that much, but we can only do what we can do. I may actually need someone a bit stronger than Shiranui here. It's becoming very obvious that Shiranui probably isn't doing the damage I needed to do here. They need to. That's alright. Like I said, Shiranui's not doing the damage I needed to do, so I will swap her out for somebody who can do a bit more damage. I'm actually going to swap her out for Meteorite. I probably shouldn't be using Shiranui against Art Stealers anyway. So that's a nice, quick, simple swap, and that should also fix a lot of the issues. Provided I can... There she is. And I'm also considering using this because at the end of the day, they're going to be coming out at a very very spaced out pace, so I'm probably not going to need her for her AoE, and I'm more going to need her for that. That aside, I'm probably not going to need Armia either. I'm going to swap in Lapland. Actually, I'm going to swap in Savage. I was just talking about Savage, so let's play on that, shall we? I think that should be okay, though. I may need another actual proper damage dealer, though. Let's use Firewatch with a first skill and see how that turns out for me. With Myr, I'm probably still going to need this skill. And I'm going to leave Perfumer as the AoE of choice. And we're going to go with this. And we're going to see how it goes. Should go fine. Should go fine. Look at that famous last words. Famous last words as I absolutely cock this up. That's not who I want. The Firewatch in there nice and early, or as early as is reasonable. So now I'm just going to start cycling in what should be useful for me. Hopefully. Oops. I may also need someone a bit better than Jessica there, I'm not too sure. So far everything looks alright. Until I did that. How much through am I? So yeah, that was it. Had I not done that and coughed that up, I would have made that through. So yeah, that is how that's going to work. Just for future reference, that is entirely how that's going to work.
みんなくれぐれも安全にね。
So regardless of whether I think it's right, wrong, or otherwise, I'm going to pop Jessica in there. And then we're just going to start building our wall of things to try and mitigate how much crap is coming through. Which I may have made a horrible mistake of. So I think regardless of how badly I've stuffed that up, should still be okay. This time I'm going to face Firewatch this way so she can hit these polearm fellows that are coming out. She won't intentionally hit them first because the casters have a lower defense, but she will at least put some shots into them, so it'll help a little bit for when they get all the way here, like this one's at half health, for example. And so far everything's holding. Savage is doing an okay job. A couple of things just got through. So the bottom line is that it looks like that I'm going to need a bit more than Jessica there. So what I'm going to do... I'm actually going to try and deploy Armia ahead of her. Because Armia's skill that I'm using has a lot better secondary. A lot better damage spread. I'm also going to try not to lose Scavenger as soon as I did, because that was really, really bad. Pop Gummy in. And I'm going to stick Jessica here, and I'm going to try to avoid popping Perfumer down. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to try.
早くしろ。勝利か死かだ。みんなお腹すいた。いただきます。私が
I'll use Jessica's skill when this guy comes out. And as you can see, that hasn't really particularly done its job. So I am going to have to put my healer down. Which in and of itself isn't too bad. I mean, Utage heals on damage, so hopefully the ends will justify the means. That said, I will do a quick swap, because I like the odds of Firewatch's damage over Jessica's in this sort of situation. So as you can see, one got through. I've deployed Beagle there because I'm mostly confident in Beagle's ability to hold. Ah, another one got through. So unfortunately what it looks like to me is that I'm just not getting enough damage going straight through. And so I'm going to need somebody who can do a lot of AoE damage. I'm going to bring blue, and I'm going to swap out Armia, not Armia, I'm going to swap out Savage for a ranged guard. Ranged guard. Who's the ranged guard I'm looking for? Where is Lapland? Lapland, second skill. Because the second skill attacks 2 targets. So that should hopefully help me out a little bit. So, Vanguard's in. Blue in nice and early. Pop Gummy in. And we'll use Blue's skill. Pop Mer in. Lapland in. Now things are looking nice. Pop in Perfumer. And I'm just waiting for these deployment points. And then I'm going to bring in Armia and hope that nothing decides it wants to come screaming through these two. Like this fellow here is just done. Now, in a perfect world, I wouldn't face blue south. I may yet change that if I fail this, but we'll have to see how we go. Wait for this fellow to get into meteorite's bomb range. Okay, so we've got a full load here, so we'll use blue's skill. So that's cycled nicely. We should be approaching the last lot of these casters, I hope. Hurry up. Let's use Mer's skill, because why not? Firewatch's skill, just to get rid of this one. And I'm just keeping an eye on everything now, because I suspect that this is going to get overrun, which it has. Okay, so they're all through, so now we'll just start not doing what I just did there. And we'll pop Utage there. And I mean, that's really messy because it comes right up the back, but at the end of the day, that's more or less how it's done, I guess. It's messy when you're not using anything. I would have probably put blue in a better position than that, but I wanted to be sure that Tallulah got through. Alrighty, so moving along. We have more Imperial Artillery. Targeteers have greatly increased hit points. That's fantastic. So that's these things, and these things are absolutely horrible. I'm truthfully not too sure of a good way to get them down. And I'll be dead honest, that's the bottom line of it. I have no idea how to get them down easily. It's kind of just a work on them until they fall over type deal. So we'll try the work on them until they fall over deal and see how it goes. So I'll go with my usual vanguards that I usually always pick. And I'm going to go with an interesting pick for this particular run. I'm not sure if it will work, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm actually going to go with Sora with second skill. And I'm going to go with blue once again with the second skill. Armia with second skill. And then we're just gonna mix and match a couple of operators just to fill some gaps. Tanks. I'm gonna go with Nerl and Gummy. If I can find Gummy. And who else? Who else? Who else? Try my luck with media. Outside of that, I'm not too sure. Bring Utage. And I'm also going to bring Red with first skill. Now, I have a suspicion that this is going to be the last map I try today. Because I really, really, really need to start working on some new operators, because this chapter has brought me undone in more ways than one. So now, as you can see with these Imperial artillery targeters, unfortunately you have to put your vanguards right forward. And then I'm going to pop media here and Sora in right behind. And from here it is just do the best we can, because I think, yeah, that's kind of what I expected. I also think that this, yeah. I think it may have brought one less heal than I needed. I mean, no matter what, this is going to be sloppy, so... now, I'm going to pop Red down here. To get rid of this barrier. Because I really need this guy to move before this drone gets down the bottom here. And the same with this barrier. Pop Red down here. Now this is a particularly sloppy way to do this. I'm not going to take away from that. This is rubbish, but... At the same token... I was hoping the target would be ready. It's a very sloppy way to do it. I get that, but I've never really found a good way to deal with those drones. So the last person that's left is that little civilian fellow there, so I'll just knock out that. And there we go. So yeah, I wish I had a better way to sort of knock those drones out, but when I was completing this on my own, not in challenge mode, I threw Yafyala at it with skill 3 and it melted. But like, especially with this one, your units have significantly decreased attack, for example. That just makes these drones really, really not okay to deal with. For this particular map, I might just give it one go before I call it a day. But I know that this map is just not good on a number of levels. So typically for this map you would use Elysium. Elysium is going to be my crutch because, as I mentioned, I'm really struggling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Zimmer, and I'm also going to bring Myrtle. I'm going to need snipers and as many cheap snipers as I can afford to bring. So I'm going to bring Meteor. I am going to bring Adnakiel. There's not really a good reason to bring him aside for that attack speed bonus. I would bring April if she was at level, but she's not. I'm going to bring some ranged guards. I'm going to bring quite a few ranged guards. So, Midnight. Lapland, second skill. And... yep. Where is he? She. Frostleaf. With first skill. And then we're going to bring... a whole bunch of self-healers. To soak. And I'm also just going to bring a couple of fast redeploys because why not? Where's Gravel? Whether or not this is going to work the way I think it's going to work, I don't know. But, gonna try. So, I haven't even thought about this. And then I will. I'm also not too sure where they stop. I think they stop in that bottom row, but I'm not overly sure about that. Pop spot here. That's not what I wanted to do. Change that, cock that up.
Okay.
I probably should have waited for those. I will try that again. I'll wait until those things drop down and then I'll go from there. Because that was a horrible, horrible cock up on my end. I'm on them big sanities. The big sanities.
一緒に行きましょう。みんな、助けに来たよ。わあ、本気で行くよ。
Yeah.
Okay.
Pop midnight down there.
勝利か、鹿だ。わあ、リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。このまま行くぞ。ビビってんじゃねえ。
I can't even see anyone there.
速さ、もう逃げがない。早く。
Alrighty.
警戒は怠らない。ゴミのように惨めに果てろ。
任せる。これでどうだ。
とどめよ。速さで。早く。
Yeah, it's probably going to need some working on my end, I think.
任せる。
ゴミのように惨めに果てろ。
Yeah. And it needs some working on, but given that the stream's gone about 2 hours, which is about as long as I let them go, I'm going to call it at that. Not a particularly favourable stream, but hey, like I said, I really need to get some more operators in a better position to help out. Chapter 8 has made that a bit unpleasantly known to me. So thanks all for showing up. Tomorrow I did say that I would probably be working on some more challenge mode maps. I don't think that I'm going to, because as I said, I need a bit more time to prepare some more operators. I may play some Resident Evil, maybe, we'll see. But tomorrow stream will be at the same time, 11:30 my time. I'm not too sure what that is. 6:30 West and 9:30 East, I think, in the US. I think, off the top of my head. So I look forward to seeing you then, and I hope you enjoyed the stream much as I was cocking it up. Thanks for coming, lads and lasses.